What up, man? It's the boy Product from the Life of Produk Podcast. Letting you guys know today's episode is sponsored by the Tech Pals. They have the latest and greatest in accessories. Stop by the website to receive 10% off from your first order. Also, your boy Product got you. Want to get a discount on your second order? Use promo code LOP. That is thetechpalz.com. I'm out, baby. Jip.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk Podcast.
Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Product from the Life of Produk Podcast. It is a special day today. This is episode 120. I took like a little short hiatus. I got to stop doing y'all like that because I'll be getting low, man. I'll be having life stuff going on. But yo, welcome back to the show. I got the homie Cody Burch on the show. What's good, brother?
What's good? How
Yo,
you
man,
doing?
thank you for coming through, man. Shouts out to Raphael for setting this up. I got a bone to pick up with Raphael because he's supposed to come through today. He couldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? I got the homie Cody Burch. If y'all don't know Cody Burch, I better know that name now because he is an upcoming boxer from North Carolina. What brought you here today, man? We talking, brother. What's up?
Yeah, I'm just blessed. You know what I'm saying, to be here.
You got to give the blessings to the Most High,
You know
brother.
what I'm saying? Got to give
Yeah.
it to God, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Before we really dig deep into the show, I got to give a big rest in peace to Richard Parker, my guy, Big Cat. Now I saw you at the funeral last year. That's your cousin, right?
Yeah, that was my uncle.
That was your uncle. Okay,
Yeah.
Big Cat was my guy. You know, I want to say this about Big Cat before we start the show. He's a special kind of dude, man.
Oh, yeah.
You don't meet people like Big Cat. When I first moved down here years ago, he showed me a lot of love. We used to live around the corner from each other. Shouts out to his moms. I knew his pops. Big Cat came to New York one time when I moved back, and I went to meet him and his moms and his pops, and I took him to the hospital his pops was born at. It was closed, but the building was still there. You know what I'm saying? So that was a dope moment, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dope moment. I tell people a lot. Coming to the South, you get to meet a lot of special people. A lot of special people. And you don't get certain type of the humbleness and the genuineness back home where I come from in Brooklyn. There's good people there, but it's crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we here today, man. We talking a lot, man. You are an upcoming fighter.
Yes, sir.
What's your reason for fighting? Everybody got their own reason. What's yours?
First of all, I want to give honor to God, but every time
Yeah.
I step in the ring, because,
Yeah.
my name is Cody Powerhouse Burch in
Mhm.
the ring,
Yeah.
but it's Cody Powerhouse Burch, God's warrior,
Mm.
because I'm God's warrior.
That's what's up.
So every time I step in the ring, I do it for God.
Yeah.
I do it for, you know what I'm saying, my
Mhm.
brother, rest in peace,
Yeah.
Marty
Word.
Burch, you know what
That's
I'm
what's
saying?
up.
That was my brother, man. He inspired me a lot, telling me to always put it all on the line, no
Mhm.
matter what I did. So
Yeah.
that's how I always see it when I get in the ring. And
Yeah.
I also do it for my mom and my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My parents, they inspired me a lot.
Yeah.
Coach referee at Newborn Morel.
Mhm.
I also want to give a shout out to rest in peace to 3-time world champion
Mhm.
Rick Davis that
Yeah.
taught me in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to him and all my
Yeah.
family. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
without my family, hey, I wouldn't be here either.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to meet him before he passed away. And I remember I was going to the gym. I think he had opened that gym.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Atlantic MMA. And I remember seeing you and Raphael there. That was my first time meeting Raphael there. And I was very impressed with the classes that he was teaching. And he told me a dope story. He said what got him into I don't know if you remember this, but he told me what got him into boxing. His bike got stolen. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that was a dope story right there, man. He's a dope dude, man. I love boxing. I
Yeah,
got
I do
into it
too.
when I was a kid growing up in Brooklyn. My pops used to take me to a boxing gym. I used to hit the bag. I took a few years off, and then I got into judo,
Right.
which was really dope. You don't get the same high. You don't get the same high between judo and maybe other forms of martial arts, but judo I think it was great. I took it because now I get to get people off me. Because a street fight, they ain't throwing hands like that. They grabbing
they're
you.
not, man.
And I hate, the funny thing about it, me and my son was talking, and he was like, yo, why do you hate grappling so much and you're great at it? I said, because I don't like people touching me. Yeah, I'd rather get a punch thrown at me than somebody try to grab me because it just takes me to a whole different level. But what was your first experience like? Like the first day you stepped into the ring to train, what was it like?
Oh man, it was eye-opening.
Yeah,
because
Yeah, you think you that guy till you get hit,
you
right?
think you can fight. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Then you get in the ring with somebody who really
Yeah.
knows how to fight. They've been trained. You know,
Yeah.
the discipline that it takes and all that is
Yeah.
just it's just a whole nother level, man.
Mhm.
You really have to be dedicated.
Yes.
You have to be focused. You have
Yeah.
to eat right.
Yes.
You have to take care of your body and
Yeah.
be in the right physical mindset too, mentally.
Yeah.
Like you can't just go in there and your mind's on other stuff.
Nah.
You're not gonna be focused.
You're not.
You know?
Not at all, man. I tell people too, another key to boxing and fighting in the ring, just fighting in general, you got to know how to control your heart. For a lot of people, they don't understand. When first time you got into a fight as a kid, what did you feel? You felt your heart going like this,
Oh man,
like
yeah.
this. You feel that, right? you might be your adrenaline is gonna be either here or there. If your adrenaline is here, you might not even you got the shakes. You can't even throw a punch properly.
Absolutely.
So when you get into a ring, whether you sparring or really fighting, you need to know how to bring that down. Right. You got to control that. If you can't control that, if I see me and you get into, you like, I know I got you. I got you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something people don't talk about, man. So after your first experience in the ring fight, how did you feel?
Oh man, it felt great.
Yeah.
It was the first thing I would say, like, is you have to stay calm and poised and block out the crowd, because
absolutely,
if you go in there and you just go wide open and you're not focused, you're gonna probably get knocked out.
Yeah,
you know,
I've seen it.
You're definitely you're gonna get knocked out.
Yeah,
you have to be very focused and in your zone, and try to control the fight the way you can.
Yeah,
you know. And you most definitely have to listen to your coach.
And that's another important thing. I feel like a lot of fighters do, but I've seen a lot not listen to their coach and they lose. And you could be in a ring and you seen it one way, but your whole corner, they seen everything.
Yeah.
They seen, and I think the concept of boxing is amazing, because you fight for 3 minutes, you go back, you redo your game plan.
Right.
That's fire. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fire. What do you see as far as the benefits of it, right? See, your fighter, he's fighting. He's his fourth round. He's down. He's going to the fourth round. He's down 3-0.
Right.
What would he's losing? What advice would you give this guy going back into that fourth round? Because you need to get your points back up. What advice would you give him?
I would tell him, stay calm. Don't panic. Stay poised. Definitely listen to your coach.
Yeah.
You got definitely be on the defensive end, and you need to throw punches and bunches.
Yeah. Punches and bunches, brother. Yes. You got to keep moving.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But before you throw like the combos and stuff, you need to set up with the jab first, because the jab is the most important.
It is
punch.
It is, man. You know, a lot of these guys, they throwing haymakers. A lot of guys that don't have experience fighting. I see street fights guys, they throwing hooks. You're gonna get tired.
Absolutely.
You're tired. That jab wins.
Right.
That jab.
It sets everything else up.
What did the first time you got popped with a jab, what was it like? Because I remember my experience first hitting with a jab. I got mad.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. I had a busted nose one time.
Yeah, I did too, man.
And that right there was like, woo, okay, work on the boxing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. First time for me getting popped with a jab was one thing. Shouts out to little Harry, may he rest in peace, man. My mother's best friend's son. I was chilling and I was in the PJs one day. It was me, him, and my cousin. And they older than me. I used to always hang out with older people. And little Harry's like, yo, come here. Bang! And he rocked me with a gut punch. And that was my first time ever taking a gut, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. And to this day, man, may he rest in peace, I'm so happy he hit me like that, because I needed that. I hit him and I ran. I ran because I didn't want to get hit with another gut punch. But you don't know how real a gut punch is until you actually catch one.
Right.
Because everything stopped. You can't breathe. I couldn't stand up. You know what I'm saying? You see it on TV, but you know what I'm saying? So wait. Going into boxing and everything like that, we talked about this. North Carolina doesn't have a boxing commission, a full one. What states have you had to travel to?
Tennessee, Virginia.
Yeah.
I went to Connecticut.
Yeah.
When I cornered my coach, referee Newborn Morrell.
Yeah.
Pro fight. Those places so far.
That's dope. Man. We were talking about this. It sucks that, a fighter has to get in a car 4 or 5 hours from here to go to, I think South Carolina has a boxing commission as well. Because I've been to Bare Knuckle. They have MMA fights, but they don't have one here. So I think the closest Tennessee to this side is maybe like 3 hours or something like that. You got Johnson City, Knoxville. Right outside of Murphy is the state line or whatever. But the mental aspect of you going all the way there, then you got to come all the way back. That's a lot. Did it take a toll on you?
Oh, yeah, it does, man. Yeah. Like, if you don't get the proper rest and stuff and you're trying to travel and do all that, then you got to focus. Yeah. You got your weigh-ins the day before.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk to you about weigh-ins too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all right, hold that thought. It's the Boy Product, Life of Produk Podcast. This is episode 120, interview with Cody Burch. We will be right back with the second part of the show. Gia, what up, Mr. Boy Product? We're now back with the Life of Produk Podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by the Tech Pals. Go to thetechpals.com. Receive 10% off from your first order. Also, after you put that first order and you want to get another discount, use promo code LOP. That is thetechpals.com. Those are my peoples over there, man. Tell them I sent you. They got you. I got Cody Burch, Cody Powerhouse Burch on the show. We were talking about, just the wear and tear on the fighter whenever a fighter has to go from North Carolina to like Tennessee or any other neighboring state to fight. And it can put wear and tear on you. You were speaking about if the fighter doesn't sleep the night before and things like that. What kind of damage can that do to him or her?
It can make you like sluggish in the ring, like just like simple stuff like not being able to, like the week before, you really don't need to be having any, sexual, like, doing things like that because,
seriously.
Honestly, it makes your legs weak.
It does.
You get in the ring, so you're not really supposed to, do that.
Yeah.
The week of your fight, being able to just other stuff that you need to do. You don't need to get in the water.
I didn't know that part
before your fights.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Like swimming and stuff like that?
Right.
Swimming is like full body, man. Yeah. I didn't realize that. That part, I knew about the no sex rule, but I didn't know about the no swimming rule.
Yeah.
Before that.
In the water.
Yeah. Have you, when you go to like a fight and they do like the press conference in the ways, can it be discouraging when you actually, because you could look up the fight on a promo flyer, you could look them up on the gram, Facebook, whatever, but when you actually come face to face with that other fighter, how do you have to keep yourself mentally?
For me, it's like you're looking into that person's eyes, and it's like it's like letting them know, kind of like intimidation.
Yeah,
you're looking into another fighter, and they're gonna try to intimidate you.
Yeah,
mentally.
Yeah,
and you got to be strong enough to look into their eyes and let them know, like, I'm that man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I seen still shots of you in the ring. You ain't no joke, bro. You know what I noticed? Some of the most humble fighters outside the ring are the most dangerous ones in the ring. How do you keep the humbleness? Like when you walk into a room, I could whoop everybody in here. Right. How do you keep that humbleness?
You have to just know that any fight you can be beat.
This is true.
But at the same time, you want to be humble and not cocky.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be around a person arrogant and cocky.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
This is true.
You got to stay humble and just always work hard.
Yeah. Because
there's somebody out there trying to work just as hard as you.
This is true, man.
And putting in the work. So you got to be putting in the work too.
I feel like a person's talent is their superpower, and you shouldn't abuse it. You should never abuse your superpower wrong. Like, if you look back at the comic books, before Superman became evil Superman, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't running around the world just knocking stuff over.
Right.
And I feel like once you abuse it, it could be taken away from you.
Most definitely.
It could, you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
I want to talk to you about what's going on in the fighting world. I love boxing. I think boxing right now, 2024, is in a great place, man. What do you think about all these fights going to Saudi Arabia?
Oh, man.
I hate the time difference, but I love it. I love what they do, and I just hate the time difference, man.
Yeah, I think that boxing is going to hopefully go to a whole nother level in the near future.
It will.
By going to Saudi Arabia, other people from around the world are going to get to see the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
You know?
MMA, Dana White, what he was doing is amazing, man. He fights every week. Signing really big fighters, making them stars, and it was kind of running the fight world for a minute. But I feel like if you notice the Saudi Arabia fights, they're kind of recycling fighters. Like this guy fight this guy, this guy fight this guy, and they're doing heavyweights now. The heavyweight division was kind of like really stagnant for a while. For instance, Ngannou knocking down Fury, how big was that in your opinion?
Oh man,
it kind of created a MMA versus boxing, feud. It was bigger than that, if you ask me.
Yeah, I like, for instance, the guy who, as far as like, man, his heart and like, for him to love Mike Tyson as much as he liked Mike Tyson, and actually getting to work with Mike Tyson,
that's big.
That was huge.
He made history. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, like he made Black history. He made African history, not just history here, Black history here in America. He made MMA history. He, to my knowledge, was the first heavyweight to get a title shot, and he was the first heavyweight to knock down at heavyweight. In my opinion, he won that fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you feel about that.
I kind of felt the same way, man. Because it's just like the way, for instance, the guy who knocked him down, man. He
felt that.
Right.
Yeah. But this is not taking away anything from Fury, because Fury's a good fighter.
He is a great
fighter.
One
thing about Fury, I like Fury. He's a great fighter. I don't like how he presses his body against people, and I don't like how he flaps his glove. That's kind of dirty, right? He did that with Wilder. But one thing about Fury, he adjusts and learns you as he fights.
Oh, yeah.
And just like we talked about the jab, Fury utilized his jab that whole fight. See, if you look at the scorecard, he had 12 more punches than Ngannou. But in my opinion, due to the fact that Ngannou dropped him, it should have canceled out those 12 punches. Ngannou should have been given that fight. I do feel like he did great as far as he did because Tyson was one of the trainers. Because he had 3 trainers. Tyson was one of the trainers. Ngannou's problem is he doesn't have defense. He doesn't have defense. When he fights, he keeps this is open. Now, if I'm boxing, I'm seeing this open, I'm going to pop the jab the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? The whole fight. He ate those punches. But that brings us to the Joshua fight. You know, did you watch that one?
Yes.
What's your take on that?
I think Joshua is an incredible fighter.
He is. I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves, man. I think it's because he's like kind of more humble and more on the quiet, not loud and boasty side. His power is crazy, man. I mean, it's crazy. Like Ngannou, I think he lost 2 UFC fights. He lost to Stipe, then he beat Stipe, and it was somebody else, right? I think Ngannou should have took like about 2 filler fights in between the Fury and Joshua fight. I think he should have fought a regular boxer before Fury and after Fury leading up to it, because then he would have had here's the thing, right? When you play we all play video games, and right, growing up as a kid, when you played Street Fighter Mortal Kombat for the first time, you didn't put it on hard. Exactly. You played on easy or medium and you worked your way up.
Right.
That man went to expert level. You know what I'm saying? And he got taught a lesson with Joshua. He wasn't ready for that fight. Joshua Power, look, man, Joshua was trained by Derrick James now. Even before Derrick James, he was incredible. Remember when he lost to Andy Ruiz? After that first loss to Andy Ruiz, Joshua dropped a lot of weight to get faster. And he still kept it. I think he got stronger after that. And for a big dude, Joshua fights like this, with his hands to his chin. Now, if you notice, you fight a dude with his hands to his chin, he's going to come at you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Did you see during that fight when Ngannou threw the hook, like the end of the first round, but Joshua blocked that hook would have knocked him out. It would have knocked him out, but Joshua did his thing, man. Now, my question, all right, Wilder, we saw what happened with Wilder versus Fury, right? And they fought 3 times. In my opinion, you know how boxing is, right? In my opinion, boxing is somewhat racist sometimes. It is, right? And I don't like to bring race into it. Wilder dropped Fury twice during that fight. Twice he dropped him, and they still called it as a draw. It wasn't a draw. If Wilder fought Joshua now, who you think is winning?
If Wilder fought Joshua now, I think Joshua.
I think Joshua too, and I'm a Wilder fan. I'm a big Wilder fan, man. Huge Wilder fan. Did you see that last fight he lost to Joe Parker? Dog, I was sleeping on Joe Parker for a while. I think Joshua lost to Joe Parker. I could be wrong, but I know Joshua just beat Joe Parker. I'm sorry, just beat Zhang. I forgot his last name. The Japanese fighter. He's good. The dude is powerful, but Joe Parker washed him. I think Joe Parker is a fighter we need to keep our eyes on right now. And man, so Joe Parker beat Wilder pretty bad. And you know that could break your spirit, losing in the ring like that, man. It can kind of break your spirit. So I think 6 years ago, if Wilder fought Anthony Joshua, I would have said Joshua might have lost, but now I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening.
I feel like he's developed his boxing skills even better now.
Dog, that Derrick James got the Midas touch, man. He got the mic. Everything he touched turned to gold. Oh, you know what we're going to do on this third segment? We got to talk about this Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight coming up. Hold that thought. Jizz the Boy Product Life of Produk Podcast. I got Cody, Powerhouse Burch on the show. This is episode 120. Episode 120 is sponsored by thetechpals.com. That is thetechpals.com. Tell them your boy Product sent you. Use promo code LOP for 10% off. We'll be right back. Yeah, what up, man? It's the boy Product. You're now back with the Life of Produk Podcast. This is episode 120. Cody, Powerhouse Burch is on the show, man. We out here in these Charlotte streets, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, listen, man. Oh, man, this Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight. First of all, before we talk about that, tonight I think is the Keith Thurman fight. I forgot the dude's name he's fighting, but he's good too. Keith Thurman, man, is another fighter that doesn't get the credit he deserves. I don't know what it is, but we got to realize Keith Thurman is a crazy Floridian. And he beat Danny Garcia, which Danny Garcia is not a walk in the park. And I think a lot of people kind of wrote off Danny Garcia, but then he came back and he beat Benavidez. Not the other Benavidez. He beat the one that was in Creed 3. He beat Benavidez Jr., I believe, the one that got the braids. But he's first of all, you follow the Benavidez brothers? Dudes is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
They're crazy. So the other Benavidez brother that's been doing really good, the one that wants to fight Canelo, we're gonna put him over here for a minute because he's a problem. Other Benavidez that Danny Garcia beat, dude, when he gets in a ring, he's like a bully, dog. He doesn't let up on you. He's not the fast, flamboyant swinger, but he zeroes in on you. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia came back after a few years being off and beat this dude. Keith Thurman beat Danny Garcia. So the dude he's fighting like needs to really tread light. Mm-hmm. He needs to really tread light. But also tonight, Rolly is, I think it's like a split headliner. Rolly Romero is fighting Pitbull Cruz. That's the fight I want to watch. Mm-hmm. Now, what's your thoughts on that? Who you not even forget the Keith Thurman fight. I'm more excited to see the Rolly Romero and Pitbull Cruz fight. Who do you see taking that?
I say Pitbull.
I say Pitbull too, but I hate to cancel out Rolly, man. Yeah. So the thing about Rolly talk a lot. But he backs it up. Now, we saw him do that with Tank Davis, and Tank caught him with that mean left, and then he almost fell out the ropes in the 6th round.
Sure did.
Almost fell out the ropes. So if you kind of look at the fight that they both lost to Gervonta Davis, but Pitbull Cruz lost by decision. In my opinion, Rolly put up a decent fight against Tank, but this is Tank Davis. Tank Davis, first of all, Tank is trained by these two OGs. He ain't going nowhere for a while. And Tank is the type to let you build your confidence during the fight, and he's reading you the whole fight. But Pitbull Cruz did put up a good fight against Tank. Rolly and only thing what I think hurts Pitbull Cruz is his height. Because if Pitbull Cruz is about 3 inches taller for him, nah. But he's still a problem. Now, you say Pitbull Cruz. That's your take on it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit you later and be like, listen, what you think about that fight? But I will have to say Pitbull. I'm gonna have to go with that. You know, Mike Tyson is a Pitbull Cruz fan. Like he sides with him in a lot of stuff. He fights like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's very aggressive.
Very, very aggressive. What do you think is Pitbull Cruz's the downside of him? What do you think is his cons?
Oh, I really have to really look at him and study him a little bit more if I can really truthfully tell you an honest opinion on that.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, I do know he has a lot of great power, and
he does. He's fast
he's
too.
very aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. I think his aggression has gotten him where he's at now. I think if he toned down the aggression and slowed the fight down and read things more, he would be a whole different problem. But dude is a problem, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude is I like Pitbull Cruz, man. I like Rolly because Rolly just don't care. Rolly, he's gonna say whatever he want to say, but Rolly could back it up. You know what I'm saying? But now, Devin Haney and I almost said Gervonta Davis. That's a fight I want to see. But Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, man. So Devin Haney's undefeated. Ryan Garcia has one loss, and that's to Tank Davis, right? He put up a really good fight against Tank Davis. It was looking kind of shaky for Tank at first, but like I said, Tank be reading people.
Right.
Who do you see taking that fight next month?
I say I gotta go with Devin Haney.
Yeah.
I say Ryan Garcia has speed.
Mm-hmm.
If Devin Haney has better enough defense to avoid, his speed and be able to slip and roll and stuff, and has great footwork. Yeah. I said Devin Haney's gonna take this one.
Now,
in my opinion,
if Ryan Garcia, he just went through that crazy stuff where they said he was kidnapped, taken to Bohemian Grove, and he's talking about Illuminati. He's talking a lot of crazy stuff, right? And I believe a lot of that because crazy stuff happens. Now, to me, if that didn't happen, I would call this as a draw. If that didn't happen, because his fight after Tank Davis, he beat the dude, and he's with Derrick James now. He actually started utilizing that shoulder roll during his last fight, which was kind of, we never seen him do that before, right? I think Ryan Garcia is stronger than Haney, but the problem is Haney can take a punch like no problem. And did you watch the last Haney fight when he fought Lomachenko? You gotta
I
go
ain't
back,
get to see it.
brother.
I
Go
gotta
watch
go
it.
study it.
So
See
what I
that.
like about that fight, I think that fight was great for Haney to take before fighting Ryan Garcia because it was education he needed. So Lomachenko's like in his mid-30s, and Devin Haney, I think in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
I think Devin Haney needed to fight like a grown man. First of all, Lomachenko is another fighter that needs to be put in certain conversations, man. The dude is a problem. I would love to see Lomachenko fight Tank Davis. I would love to see that. Now, Lomachenko, they gave Devin Haney the fight by decision, right? People were mad about that. They said, no, he shouldn't have got it. I see why people say that, but I see why Devin Haney was given the fight because Devin Haney, he took some punches from Lomachenko, but he was giving them back. He was rocking Lomachenko body that whole fight. And that was the first time we really seen Devin Haney start like doing body shots. But by him doing that, he slowed that fight down and Lomachenko didn't have the power to beat him. But you know what was worst case scenario? And I was just talking to somebody about this. I hope Ryan Garcia don't get in that ring next month and have a breakdown and just like do something because what he's been going through has affected him, man. And we talked about this too. If your mind ain't there as a fighter, I don't know if you noticed, but Ryan Garcia recently, he just had a baby. Him and his wife, he separated from his wife while she was in the hospital. Yeah, it was kind of some scumbag stuff, man. But I don't know the situation. I want to put that on him. But I just personally don't think he's gonna mentally beat it for that fight. You know what I'm saying? But and speaking of mentally being there with fighters, right? So if in your opinion, right, if a fighter, you got a fight coming up, or this guy has a fight coming up, and he's going through things mentally, when you get outside that ring and you step in, how do you zero all of that out?
Man, you just have to, know that right before you fight, your mind, when you in there and you warming up and stuff and you getting ready for your fight, you have to block all the outside influences.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on.
Yeah.
In your personal life, you got to block that out because once you step in that ring, man, your mind has to be focused on that fight. Your mind cannot be on nothing else.
Yeah.
You have to be focused.
What's your regimen like whenever you're preparing for a fight? Like gym regimen, mental regimen. How do you get ready?
Me mentally, man. First of all, man, I pray to God, man, and ask God for just to bless me.
Yeah.
Before I even step in the ring.
Yeah.
I also try to eat right. Stay hydrated as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
After the weigh-ins. Then I can,
because you're a pretty fit dude, man. I don't know if people can see this dude is ripped. So how do you get there? Like it's not easy. Everybody body type is different, but for you, how do you keep the body fat down? How do you keep the muscles bulky, but at the same time not be sluggish?
Just a lot of conditioning and running and like I said, like working on my abs because your core is very important.
Yeah.
That try not to lift too heavy. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard fighters say that they don't want to lift too heavy because it slows them down.
Too heavy, it slows you down.
Yeah.
And, just basically your conditioning is and stretching. Stretching is key too.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want to be all tight in your hips because you definitely want to have good legs because all your power is coming from your legs. It's not coming from up top, man. You see these guys and they're all huge up top, man, but like they don't know how to generate their power.
This is true, man. That happens a lot in MMA as well. You have some guys, they'll be huge and then they can't take a leg kick. No. They can't take a leg kick or they'll get slammed and they can't get up and they're like, you know what I'm saying? They got no leg power at all, man. They skipping leg day. See, it hurt you. Right. Well, okay, so I got a lot of kids watching the show. Before we wrap the show, to the kids out there being bullied, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause there's a lot of fighters that fight now because they were bullied. What advice would you give them?
I'll tell them to definitely get into boxing, man. Or martial arts. It's gonna get you so disciplined. It'll teach you how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
I promise you won't be getting bullied anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna stop. It'll definitely stop. It'll definitely stop.
I wouldn't tell nobody, don't go out there looking for no fight and trying to mess with nobody. That's not what it's about. It's all about being disciplined and it's gonna also keep them a young kid out of trouble.
Yes.
You know? Something to do, something constructive.
Yeah, I told somebody that I had an old coworker and she was best friends with this lady and the son was getting in trouble. He was like 11 years old. He was like beating kids up on the bus. He got got arrested. Like little kitty arrested, whatever. Right. How they do it. So she was like asking me for advice. She was like, well, what would you do? I said, put him in boxing. She was like, oh, well, his mama beat him all the time. I said, nah, there's a difference. I said, there's a difference between his mother putting a belt to him or him getting in the ring with a kid his size and getting rocked. There's a big, I said, he need to get humbled real quick. I said, because if he don't get humbled, two things going to happen. He's either going to hurt somebody or he's going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I said, tell his moms this. I said, ask her, would she rather her son right now come home sore because some kid his age whooped him out because he ain't got no experience, or would she be wanting to look at him from behind the jail cell? She got two choices because that's the path he headed down. She got two choices, you know? And this is something a lot of people don't want to hear. A lot of these people that are kids that hurt kids is because they haven't been humbled yet.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They have not been humbled yet. But yo, the boy Cody came through to the show, man. It's the boy Product. Episode 120 of the Life of Produk Podcast. We are on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio. We are on YouTube. It is youtube.com/LifeOfProduk Podcast. I'm out, baby. Yeah.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk Podcast.